Steam has a huge summer sale going on right now, and I wanted to go over some cheap games that run great on the AYN Thor. Most of these games are tested through Game Native, and I am running them at low to medium settings. So the first game we have here is Sleeping Dogs. This is a 2014 open world action game. Think kind of like GTA, but it's set in China. The story is really good. You play as an undercover cop who goes back to his hometown and joins a gang and tries to take everything down from within. The traversal is really good, the way that they did parkour in this game, as well as the driving, and the combat. They do a similar style to superhero games where you can attack and you can dodge and parry enemies when they're about to attack you, and you also learn different combos as you play, so the combat gets more and more interesting as you level up and learn more moves. And this runs really well on the Thor. I usually was around 60 FPS, and even if the FPS would drop, it would only go to about 40 and then jump right back up again. So this one is totally fully playable on the Thor. Next we have Dishonored. This is a first-person action game where you play as an assassin. You can either go in and be stealthy, or you could fight using your different supernatural abilities, weapons, and gadgets at your disposal. With this one, you'll usually see around 60 FPS when you're inside, and then it might drop as you go into those more open areas, but it always stays above 30 and is totally playable. Now, if you plan on grabbing this game, make sure to get the Game of the Year Definitive Edition because it's actually cheaper than getting the game by itself. Next, we have Dying Light. This is an open world survival action game that heavily features parkour and hand-to-hand combat. This one is super immersive as you're trying to survive in this world full of zombies and explore new areas and craft new items that will help you survive. This one usually stays to about 30 to 40 FPS for the most part. Even if you get into some areas with a ton of zombies, you still won't see the FPS really drop below 30, so it's consistent and enjoyable to play here. Next, we have The Witcher 3. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard of this one, arguably one of the best games ever. You play as Geralt, a monster slayer, in this huge open world RPG where you explore and try to complete missions in this monster infested world. The story here is one of the best stories in video games, and the combat is also super engaging as well. Now, here on the Thor, it runs at about 30 FPS or so on low settings. You might occasionally see it drop to around 25 or so when you're in more demanding areas with lots of enemies, but it doesn't drop any further below that. And at $4, this is just an absolute steal. And if you guys are willing to spend a little bit more, you can spend $10 and get all of the DLC, which is over 60 hours of gameplay there. Next, we have The Binding of Isaac. This is a randomly generated kind of RPG twin stick shooter where you play as Isaac trying to fight through the dungeon that is underneath his bedroom. It's a wild game with a crazy story and some really unique enemies in there as well, and it's a really good game to pick up and play, so it just really works well with the Thor. Now, if you plan on picking this one up, you can get the base game for $1.50, but you can also get the base game and the DLC for just $5, so this is a great deal with a ton of replay value here. And next we have Tomb Raider, a linear action-adventure game where you follow the adventurer Lara Croft through an intense journey. Now, I switched over to Game Hub Lite for this one, and it runs really smooth here. On high settings, you can get consistent 60 FPS when inside, but in those more open areas, it could drop as low as 30 to 20 FPS. So for the smoothest experience throughout the whole game, you can set it to normal and you'll get a constant 60 FPS, so you don't even have to go to low settings, so this one looks great here. That's gonna be pretty much it for this video, guys. Let me know down in the comments, what games did you buy during this sale? What are some PC games that you've been testing and running on your devices? Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe. It's easy, and we'll see you guys next time.